should've lived back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on
What's going on, guys? It's Bryce from Fitz Records, and we're back with another video. We got a tier list on Logic's newest album, Final Days. I'm finally covering on here. You know, we got some more stuff planned down the road, but before we get into that, like, comment, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you get all my notifications, you don't miss out on a single video, a single update. Follow my Twitter, my Spotify, and my TikTok down there below. We have the tier list, Logic's Final Days. I'm going to leave the link to this tier list in the description down below. I want you guys all to make your tier list after you watch the video, before you watch the video, whatever, just tweet it at me. My Twitter handle is down there, but it is @FitzBryce on Twitter, so if you're not following that already, make sure you do that. But like I said, I do have more content coming on this album soon. I want to do an official review that kind of puts it in perspective with Logic's discography and the other rap albums that I've enjoyed this year, and let you guys know how I'm feeling about it in general. I just want to get right into it because here I have all the tracks on Logic's Final Days that are not skits. There are 9 skits on the album, so there's 21 tracks in order of the track list, and we're going to rank them in that order. So without further ado, starting out we have Tetris. Now, Tetris was one of my favorite singles to come out, the first single to come out alongside the Decades in that 2-pack. And it is just hard. Honestly, in the context of the album, it even almost helps it really become even a better track. But compared to some of the other tracks on here, it is nothing. It's nothing crazy, but it's hard. So for that, we're putting that in the A tier. We're putting that in A tier. Next, we have In My Lifetime featuring Action Bronson. Now this is just hard. That instrumental, I mean that it is hard. Action Bronson had a crazy verse. He always just says wild shit on his verse. He just says wild shit. Just shit that it just works for him for some reason. That's an A tier. That's an A tier for me. You know, nothing mind-blowing, but it's hard. Now we have Decades. Now, Decades is my least favorite single to come out for the album, and my least favorite song on the album. I don't hate it by any means. Just something about it now is just like, you know, it comes on. That's a skip. I'm sorry, you know, like, I may be slandering a little bit here, but, you know, I'm not trying to meat ride that much. That's just how I feel, but I don't think it's a horrible song. I mean, we'll put it in C. We'll put it in C, you know. I don't want to put it in D. I feel like that's kind of rude. You know, maybe we'll change it by the end, but for now, it's going to sit comfortably in C. Next, we have BLACKWHITEBOY. Logic Snap, you know, the Funkmaster Flex, you know, the lyrics in here are great. Some of the things he says, honestly, I like a lot. He has something to prove on this track, clearly, with the title. Kind of clickbaity, almost, in a way. Again, I keep saying this, nothing mind-blowing, though. Nothing absolutely mind-blowing, which is what this S tier is getting saved for. And you might think I'm being a little too harsh on him, but there will be plenty of mind-blowing tracks. Just chill on me. A tier. BLACKWHITEBOY is A tier. Speaking of mind-blowing tracks, we have Quasi, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album. I mean, that sample flip, the instrumental, I mean, I'm gonna get more into this in my review, obviously, but the instrumentals of this album are just, there's not a single instrumental that isn't good, literally. But back on the topic of Quasi, I love how Logic made this kind of open letter to Madlib, asking him to come back and rap and fulfill his Quasimodo alter ego, when in reality Logic just could have called him on the phone and said this shit, but he wanted to use his own art within his album to pay homage and, you know, let him know that, you know, kind of read a letter to him. I mean, it's fire. This is an S tier for me. That's an S tier for me. Next we have Bleed It. Very Beastie Boys inspired. Vocal inflection, sonic, even the sample. It's a Beastie Boys sample. It is hard. This song is hard. It's not one of my favorites on the album. Regardless, I do like it. I don't really have a problem with it. That's a B tier. That's a B tier for me. You know, and next we have the soundtrack to Murdering Anthony Fantano. I actually really do like this track, apart from the instrumental and the flow and the crazy subject matter. I do like that Logic kind of went in his Kanye bag, obviously. The title is LaDonda. He's talking about wanting to kill Anthony Fantano and talking about his past self as if he was some crazy person who was so sensitive that he thought he had to kill a music critic online, until he actually talked to him, was like, holy shit, I'm a weirdo, I need to not be a freak. But, you know, I think the point of this track went over a lot of people's heads. He obviously didn't want to fucking murder Fantano. It's literally, the title's literally a reference to Kanye West. Like, use your fucking brain. Regardless, it's an A for me. That's an A for me. Next, we got Clouds featuring Langston, Bristol in Curren, and I just want to say, wow, what a track. Langston absolutely killed his part. I'm so happy he was chosen to be on this track. Logic's hook, very infectious, very addictive. That beat switch into Currency's open letter verse to Logic post-retirement is just, you know, that is just, you know, S. Therapy music featuring Russ. You know, if you watch my video on this, you know how I feel about this, but holy shit, did they snap. I mean, for real. They went absolutely insane, both of them. It's an S. That's an S. I know I'm kind of flying through this right now, but, you know, if it looks like an S, talks like an S, it's probably an S. Rogue One, the first song Logic previewed on Vinyl Days, which everyone thought was going to be a single. Never ended up being a single. Very short song, very straight to the point. Very hard, though. Very hard. The verse is incredible. Logic's flow is absolutely incredible. The instrumental is one of the hardest instrumentals on the album. The only complaint I have about this is I wish it was longer, you know, but it is one of those straight to the point. It's one verse, which there is a lot of on this album because the album is so long, yet the runtime is relatively normal for an album, maybe a little bit over the top. But this is hard. I mean, I'm having trouble putting in S tier, even if I do think it's an S song, just because I do have the complaint that it is short, but that's not always a bad thing. So we'll put in A. We'll put in A for now. There's too many mind-blowing tracks in this album. I don't wanna meat ride too hard. You know, I don't wanna cock ride too hard, alright? And I know if you're watching this, you're like, damn, this motherfucker is cock riding this album. But like, listen, motherfucker, this album is good. If you're a Logic fan, you know this album is good. If you're a hip-hop fan, you probably know this album is good because the reason you probably even listened to it is because you heard it was good. The reason you're watching this is probably because the album was good. You know, like, this album is fucking good. Next, we have Breath Control featuring Wiz Khalifa. The instrumental on this, crazy. The beat switch, crazy. The samples he chose for this, super appropriate. One of the better singles to come out for the album also. Nothing crazy mind-blowing. I keep saying that, but nothing mind-blowing. This is an A. This is an A for me. This is a solid-ass A. Now, A is good. Like, even B is good. C is kind of getting in mid territory. And if you just look at the screen right now, you know, this album is good. Next, we have Nardwuar featuring Doc D. Basically kind of just like a Nardwuar skit that he flipped into a sample and had a short Dr. Destruction verse at the end. Regardless, still hard. It's a very short track. Nothing crazy, though. This one's a B. This one's a B for me. I'm not gonna lie, this one's a B for me. I still do enjoy it. I think it adds to the album for sure. Both Nardwuar and Dr. Destruction being on the...
Looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes...
Next, we have one of my favorite tracks on the album, one of the craziest tracks on the album, one of those lyrical tracks on the album. It's the Maryland Boys. We got Kickstyle featuring J Mars, Big Lembo, C. Castro. Back to the basement type shit. This just makes me so excited for College Park. If you're looking forward to Logic's next album, College Park, it's probably gonna be full of stuff like this, and that just makes me excited. This is an S. Kickstyle's an S, like easy S. Next we have 10 Years featuring Royce da 5'9". Royce had one of the hardest verses on the album. Logic absolutely snapped as well. I love the way he was talking about the Tetris music video. Like, obviously he made this track after all that happened, so he's kind of like referring to his DefJam contract and how disrespectful he is being to DefJam because of how disrespectful they are to him. And like, I enjoy like having a track that can that's not almost made after the album's made to like look back on everything you just did in the third person and talk your shit a little bit. And that's exactly what 10 Years is. And of course, Royce snapped on it. So S. Now, I know I'm going in here fucking Schmeat ride. We're not stopping anytime soon because the next track, Portal One, featuring the RZA, it samples Bring the Ruckus by Wu-Tang Clan. Does it sound like a Wu-Tang ripoff song? Yes. Is the RZA featured on it? Yes. Does it sample a Wu-Tang song? Yes. Does Logic snap on it and fit the mold perfectly? Yes. This is one of my favorite tracks on the album. S tier. I don't care. Now this next track, kind of a toss-up. Now, the reason this is a toss-up is because Introducing Nezzy, featuring Nezzy Mamadou, has probably the best verse on the entire album, and that is performed by Nezzy herself. She went fucking crazy. The inflections, the lyrics, the flow, I mean, literally everything she did was insane. Like I said, one of my favorite verses on the album. The only complaints I have about this is Logic didn't really deliver on her level. And I mean, how could you? Because she went, dude, you know, this is one of the best features on the album. The only other complaint is, as far as instrumentals on this album go, I feel like this is on the weaker end of that. But regardless, Nezzy did go absolutely crazy. It is held back a little bit in my opinion, but Nezzy, just know if you're watching this, just know you absolutely went crazy. That's an A tier for me. Next we have, which was actually my favorite single when the singles were coming out, we have Orville here featuring Like and Blue in Exile. This song is just smooth, nothing crazy lyrically really from Logic. Blue had a pretty incredible verse though. Like was just flowing on that shit. The chorus is hard. This is a S tier track for me. This is it's just straight, you know, it's nice. Alright, this shit is nice. Alright, next we have Carnival featuring the legendary AZ. The fact that Logic got AZ on this album and on a song like this is insane. Logic had in what is, in my opinion, one of his best verses on this album, on this track. It is a reused verse from the Mars Only Part 3 Logic and Madlib collaboration, but, you know, he said on stream, it could not get cleared, so part of this verse is from that, but that was always one of my favorite Logic verses, so to hear it on an officially released track, and especially on an instrumental like this, is crazy. To hear AZ on a Logic song is fucking crazy. The instrumental was hard. Even AZ was talking about it in the middle. He's like, it sounds like you creeping up on him. Dude, this is S. This is S. Like, this is S. Now we have Vinyl Days, the title track featuring DJ Premier. It was a single. When it came out, I was pretty blown away by it, and I still am. Of course, you know, when singles come out and you fucking overplay that shit before an album come out, it can almost lose its meaning almost within the album, but I've been trying to avoid that with Vinyl Days. All of my listens have been with the singles, you know, complete listens. That's what I've been trying to do here. And this song is incredible. I feel like if this wasn't a single and this just came out with the album, it would be like, for sure, a lot of people's favorites, even if it's not already. That's an S. I mean, shit, I know I'm bloating this S, but like, can you blame me? Like I explained earlier, this album is fucking good. It's one of the best albums of the year, easily. So I don't know what you want me to do here. We're on meat ride mode for one more track because this is my favorite song in the album. This is my favorite. I guess I love it featuring the game. It is my favorite song in the album. The game's verse, insane. That instrumental and then the honesty within it flips the script into Logic's verse, which is just insane as well. And then the beat switches again into this beautiful, like, ballad singing type shit. S as fuck. S as fuck. S as fuck. And now finally we have the closing track, Sayonara, the goodbye letter to DefJam. The last call of this album, the 10-minute track. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a long track. This is a long track just to hear Logic say someone's name at DefJam 1,000 times over. It's great, you know, honestly, the instrumental, like I keep saying, the instrumental's hard, of course. It is that last call track, you know, it's not gonna be him rapping the whole time. I did wish he went more into some verses like he did with his last call track on Young Sinatra 4, because really the first, like, minute and a half, 2 minutes is him rapping, and then he just talks for the rest, and then there's an Egon skit at the end. I wish, you know, he did what he did on Last Call, rapped a little bit, talked a little bit, rapped a little bit, talked a little bit. That keeps your brain more in tune rather than just hearing him talk. That's the only complaint I really have about this outro, you know, it's not perfect. Re-listening to this outro, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of get tired of it, but regardless, I do think it's a beautiful way to say sayonara to your label, especially with Egon's little speech at the end about Logic and his career within DefJam, you know. As far as that goes, it's really good, but if we're just talking about in the context of the album and what I'm trying to listen to, it's nothing crazy. I feel like a dick if I put it in B, even though that's probably where I think it belongs for me personally, but, you know, it is that long outro, it is that last call, it's not supposed to be a traditional song, so we'll bump it up to A just for that, because as far as outros go, and as far as these last call type tracks go, you know, he did good. He did good. I'm glad we got another one for Logic, regardless if it is long as fuck. So, looking at this, I'm comfortable with it, you know. Are 90% of the tracks in S and A? Yes. Am I okay with that? Yes. Because, I mean, I'll go into it in my review. I don't really want to get into that right now. I just want to kind of leave it at this, but I really like this album, guys. I really like this album. I may have listened to it a lot, so, you know, like I said, in the description, I have this tier list linked. Please go down there, tweet at me on Twitter, your tier list. Just send me a screenshot of it at FitzBryce. Go do that. And yeah, this is my tier list. I'm happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you would change about my tier list in the comments down below. What are some of your favorite songs, some of your favorite features, just stuff like that. Overall thoughts of Vinyl Days. Let's talk about it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. That's all I really got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, more content on the way. Official review coming soon. More news coming on the way. More hip-hop stuff. We're branching out. A lot of good stuff coming on the way, so stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. It's been Bryce. Peace.